I want to congratulate you and We the World on the 20th anniversary of 11 days of global unity. Together, you, me, and we can create a better world and have fun doing it.
Blessings. Thank you so much. My name is Heidi Little. I am here for the 11 Days of Global Unity, and we are the Peace Theme Feature Panel for this year. And I am so overjoyed and am in complete and total love with the people you see on the screen here. They all have been doing massive, beautiful work in the world. They're very inspirational. And I trust and hope and pray that everybody that this video touches in some way will learn, grow, flourish, and be appreciated and valued, as well as everyone who is speaking this day. So I have been the theme coordinator for children and youth for 7 years with We the World, and just 1 year here with the peace theme. And I'm going to hit right to the thing. We're going to have these beautiful folks talk for about 5 minutes apiece, and it's going to be an amazing and beautiful thing. I'm going to ask Grandmother Shannon Crossbear to give us a start with one of her beautiful Ojibwe prayers and blessings. Shannon Crossbear, you lovely, lovely woman who's been holding the center with International Children's Month with me for 12 years, and Bob Challenger. And I just want to honor you and thank you so much for everything you have been doing and have done and will continue to do. You are a beautiful, bright, shining light, and I love you. So, Shannon, would you please kick off our panel?
Sure. That was a lot. Just first of all, I just want to say, Anin and Dwayne Maganak, I want to greet you all as my relatives. And as my relatives, knowing that we are indeed all related and interconnected in this wonderful world, on this earth walk as human beings. And so I'm really honored to be here with you having this conversation at this point in time. And to know that this is going to be viewed on the International Peace Day, knowing that this is inevitable. We are moving toward an understanding of our human walk together. So kind of as we enter these conversations, and everybody is bringing their gifts to the table. And I think that that's so exciting. I really, when we start anything in the traditions that come from the Lake Superior Ojibwe, the lands of the Lake Superior Ojibwe, and in the traditions, before anybody has anything to say, they start with two things. They start with words of encouragement, and they start with words of gratitude. And so those things that, as we kind of enter into this conversation, I ask that we keep that in mind to think about those. And I thought about words of encouragement. And then I was thinking about, there's a book called The Education of Little Tree, and in it, there's a point at which Little Tree is asking his grandmother sharing something with his grandmother. And his grandmother says, the first thing you do when you find something good is to share it. And because you never know how far the good is going to go. And so I think when we have the opportunities and the good things that come in, I want to, one of the hopeful things and beautiful things that came across that I want to share that I thought was good and so beautiful and comforting was written by Christy Belcourt, who is another First Nations sister. And I'm going to read it to start us, and then we can go from there. And it says, she says, all the prayers of all the mothers since the beginning of time, while they carried babies in their wombs, exist now in the bed of rivers. And when the sturgeon and the salmon come to spawn, they find the clean places where those prayers lie, and they lay their eggs into them. All the prayers of all the mothers since the beginning of time, while they carried babies in their wombs, exist now, deep within the rich soil. And when the rains come, drenching the earth, the trees drink them up and breathe them back out to the world for us. Rest easy, my relatives, and remember, do not carry fear in your hearts for the world to come. For fear is the killer of new ideas and fresh thoughts. Rest easy and remember, all the prayers of all the mothers since the beginning of time, while they carried babies in their wombs, exist now, embedded deep within the soil. And when the rains come, drenching the earth, the trees drink them up and breathe them back out into the world for us. Chi-miigwech.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Shannon Crossbear. And Shannon works with We the World and International Children's Month, and she's been working with different tribal relations and helping to heal, clean the wound, to apply the healing. And I don't know a harder working, loving soul on the boots to the ground with the people. So thank you so much for everything that you do, Shannon. And can people find you anywhere these days? What you got going on?
Well, thanks, Heidi. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. First of all, my big accomplishment this year was I became a great grandmother, and that was awesome. And interesting enough, in our Ojibwe language, that the word for great grandchild and the word for great grandparent is the same word.
Nice.
Right. And so it's a pretty special place to arrive at in one's life. I'm very happy about that. But in terms of the work that I'm doing, it's all about trying to weave together all these different domains that affect our lives as families, as children, as human beings, who forget that the reason they were created were to help us, not to harm us. And so in processes and places, wherever I show up, I talk about what it takes and how we can begin to really decolonize ourselves and bring reparations for the whole world, so that we can, we can mend that sacred hoop of humanity. And it's going to take us all, right, to do that. And everybody has gifts to give at the table.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. And we need it. We need it all. So I'm doing a lot of work in the world about kind of elevating the conversations around our connection and our historic trauma as human beings, and and because we've all experienced that within our ancestry, and how we are in a healing time, and really sharing. I think the other thing that my work is about right now is every place that we can infuse the hope, because it does exist. It's great news. It's great news. We are in the process of evolution, revolution, and we are, the other thing about being a great grandmother and why I say that's so important is that I have a great granddaughter who can speak her language as an infant.
Amazing.
Right? And
yes.
and and actually speaks, you know, 3 languages or 4 languages at this point. And the they're fully present, this generation that's fully present. And yeah, we get to, I get to witness it. So I'm really, really happy about it. And I'm so glad because I know that each of you in this, you know, this virtual room are a part of that. So thanks, Heidi, for letting me say that and share. And in terms of finding me, I live in the middle of the woods in the boreal forest on the lands of Lake Superior in the homelands of the Ojibwe people in a cabin. And Heidi's been here, and I'm about 300 feet away from the largest freshwater source and the cleanest freshwater source on this continent. Um, and yeah, we all know about water. So, and let's see, you can find me on Facebook. You know, I go in there and hang out and find my relatives there sometimes. That's probably the best way. I'm in LinkedIn, but I don't do it very often. I prefer once we know each other in places like this, then we have the opportunity to connect. So
amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Decolonization and a remembrance into a new becoming. And thank you for that. Thank you for that. Grandmothers and grandbabies and First Nations and our Indigenous relations having their language. That's a celebration. That's a celebration. I love it. Thank you for bringing that to the table. Yay! Okay, fantastic. All righty. So let's see here. Well, why don't we bring in some of the love and money vibe? Miss Virginia, you are new in my world, and I am blown away by your exuberance, passion, dedication, professionalism, the creation, and your success. So I really believe in you and what you're doing. Why don't you tell the people what you're up to, Miss Virginia? Yeah?
Thank you so much for bringing us all together here. Heidi, what an honor to be on this peace panel with all of you and sharing the good news that we're here. And there's a lot of beautiful people around the world that have been working for many, many years and many, many decades at solutions and technologies and communication skills to be able to deliver a new way of being and a new way of community and a new way of governance and decision making and utilizing our resources in the world. So yeah, I'm here for all of those things. And that's what I'm working on. I'm here as an ambassador of love. This is my devotion in the world and my assignment here to be an embodiment of love and to create from a space of love and make decisions from a space of love and giving us as a community the choice to choose love. That's the important piece, is that we have more choices in this space of sovereignty. We do not want to tell anyone how to live their life or that it's important to drink, you know, the cleanest water and food and to communicate to each other with love and to educate our children to the highest degree of freedom and self-empowerment. These are things that we all embody and that we exemplify and that we bring out in our events and in our content that we create around Love Earth. But we're not telling anyone that this is how they must be. But we would just like to offer them a choice so that you can choose this thing over here in this certain education system or financial system. But you also have the choice of something else. Shall you be interested? And so we've been working on that choice. I've been doing this work for over 2 decades now, not only in the communication, the events, the community, and the global leadership space, but also the land. So that's a big part of our project. So just to give you an idea, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Love Earth, which is a community of heart-centered leaders and visionaries and people that are here just to just come from love. So it's all different people from different walks of life. And we've created our own currency to unify us. So we've created Love Coin, which is our own currency on Love Earth, and it's a private currency. So this is not about creating some kind of blockchain that everyone can access, but it's really for our community and our vetted members. And it's a marketplace so that our community can exchange, be that land, be that services, be that products, just making it really easy for us to create a global economy of love. And so that's what Love Earth is. And we have an amazing community. I've been traveling the world for 2 decades now and speaking at all different types of events, from the World Economic Forum to South by Southwest and Art Basel, to festivals, just all different types of places where communities gather and solutions are being created. And so we've been gathering these solutions and unifying them so that there's an actual global ecosystem map, so that we can understand who is holding what pillar of the equation and how can we collaborate to just really speed up the timelines, because I feel like we have a big global environmental impact that's happening right now, and it's important that we take swift action. So we're very much the unifiers of the global movement of, New Earth, what we're calling Love Earth. It's been New Earth for a hot minute. So what's coming through really profoundly in prayer and ceremony, that it's, Earth reborn into love. So that's what Love Earth is for us. And I'm currently in Colorado, gearing up to bring a lot of people from our community here to the INC. And we're creating Love Fest this weekend. So we have different people from all over the world flying in and celebrating love, and here to fill up our cups with more love. And when we do that in collaboration, it creates success. So super happy to be here with all of you and bringing the pieces of the puzzle and the equation that we have to the table, and here to utilize and become part of the community and the bigger global solution to this beautiful earth that we get to play on. So thank you, Heidi. Happy to be here.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Virginia. So new financial operating systems and bringing that love in more. I think everyone here will agree on that 100%, 110%. Love is the way forward for sure. And I just love the idea and the concept of, love currency. You pay in love, you receive in love, you're transferring in love. It's like such a beautiful thing. And all the energy workers out there in the world will totally understand how this can be so transformative and good for us. So thank you so much, Virginia. Is there anything, where can people find you?
Yeah,
where do you want them to
loveearth.love. You can apply to become a citizen. So it's just loveearth.love. And one of the things that I'll mention as well, because I've been in this global economy, Web3, Web2, Web0 space for a really long time. So, it's one thing to say, hey, we're going to create a currency and a banking system and a whole new financial system. But I just want to also underline, as we're expressing this, these are some of the best people in Web3 and, global economic strategists that are behind this and that are within the council. So this is not just like a new idea that's sort of like jumping up and cute, but we've all been working on this, for decades ourselves to create these solutions. So it's all come together in a very elegant way to be able to present what the Love Earth platform is now, which is live. So when you go there, you can open a Love wallet. You have 3 wallets. So one is your wallet. The second wallet is for gifting and contributing to Mother Earth, because she has a seat at the board of everything that we do, which is also why Love Coin is the most benevolent currency, because every time you transact in love, love is being given somewhere that it's needed. For example, planting trees, cleaning waterways, taking care of the children, building schools, supporting women, ending sex trafficking is a big vision of ours as well. So just a little bit of, context. And then the third wallet is for staking, so for nurturing love. So there's a lot of really cool financial tools that are already built in and operating very well.
Yay! I am a member of Love, and I am very honored to say so. Yay! Amazing! Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for your beautiful contribution to We Are Rising, as we are. It's all happening. Thank you, Virginia. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, yay. I'm going to pick Andras next here. My inner guidance system's been binging him since Virginia was having her lovely share into this beautiful medicine blanket. And no, Mayana, you will not go after Andras, but Andras is going to go now. Let's go, brother. What you got?
Well, hallelujah.
Andras is a divine masculine, okay? And he has been in Mayana and Andras have been in team for as long as I have known them. They're beautiful contributors to peace and filmmaking and entertainment, and these are the things that I know about this couple. And so I'd like to introduce everyone to Andras, and he has this whole thing he's creating as we are rising to help support the men, right, Andras? This is what we got going on. So can you talk to us about what's happening, please?
Well, absolutely. Out of gratitude for this moment to be with you all, and the opportunity to share my journey of 80 years on this planet. I just celebrated my 80th birthday in April in the Danube Bend, north of Budapest, Hungary, where I was born, on the first day of bombing of Budapest. The reason I mention that is because, as it was mentioned earlier, we all have a story of our own tremendous opportunity to be shaken at the core by our various different incidents of terror that has reached us in different levels, different forms, different ages. Anyway, I was blessed by starting out the moment I was born, literally the moment my mother was ready to give birth and she saw in the skylight airplanes going over and bombing Budapest, April 30, 1944. Obviously, I don't remember those things, but if we know about cellular memory, it's the beginning of the rest of my life, 80 years. And of course, I grew up under Stalin communism, and it took a whole revolution to make it possible for me to be here with you tonight. We had a revolution in 1956, which allowed me to leave. And I've been on this journey on this planet ever since, walking on it with consciousness about who we are and discovering that we are all indigenous to this Mother Earth. Along this journey, I had the incredible opportunity to meet with various different groups and individuals who, like Ram Dass and Deepak Chopra and many of them. I mean, too many to name. I just named those couple because they were kind of significant in my specific life. But I also lived in Colorado near the Four Corners, which began my journey with the 4 states that had the most concentration of Native American ceremonies and various other, to be at one with all my relatives, as I really viewed that for a long time. An important element to this discussion about how we can come together in unity, how we are in unity. It's important to recognize that the first thing that we all have here in this group is the most important step, and that is We have to have the intention of consciously being in that state of being, in that state of mind, in the state of heart mind to start with. Probably many of you have heard, know about, maybe all of you know about the Heart Mind Institute and all of that. I was also lucky enough to be involved with that area of influence. Well, anyway, so this point of having the intention to come from our heart mind, when that came to me so clearly, I've been lucky, and I want to mention that I've been lucky enough to really live my entire life in art, in some form of art. And at a certain point, I don't remember now, the decades kind of flow into part, I realized as I was involved in my creative endeavors that what is important is everything that you express, everything that you create has to come from your heart for it to really connect with our relations heart, all our relations heart. And the other part of that is that our heart, as well as our entire being, needs to be balanced in energy level, the masculine and feminine energy level. Since I was born in the first bombing, to an obvious thing that has been this last 2,000 or more years of centuries of paternal, patriarchal energy of war and angst and killing and all of those things that have happened, and that I got a chance to witness that and to recognize how this patriarchal, this energy that we've been living under, how that has to be balanced. And of course, in our history, we've also had the feminine movement and all of those, and some of the feminine ladies have carried their masculine balance into two extremes. So this is like a constant work of individual commitment, is to balance our heart and mind. And just to share with you, at the moment that this came to me so clearly, I was actually in my studio, art studio, and I started playing with some clay. I painted, I sculpted, I did all kinds of things. And this moment I was doing a little clay, and I just had a slab of clay and I started pouncing on it, and I had no intention of creating anything specific. I just had the one intention that it would come from my heart and from my balanced heart. And I started playing with it, rubbing it, and I ended up making like a personal pizza size. And then I started bringing it up, and at some point I realized that this thing that I was playing with my fingers had fins, and that it looked like a dolphin coming up, and then all of a sudden I recognized that there was a feminine and a masculine side to this creation, and I took my hand and I put it around that and put it together, and this is what came out. And I wanted to show you, see if you can see that. And what it created was, of course, the total balance of masculine and feminine, with the vagina on this side and a penis in the back. So even in that physical realm, as much as, and you might even see that there's actually almost faces up there, the masculine and feminine. And I called it Femuline. So this is what I wanted to introduce to you. I wanted to introduce the Femuline that we all have within us. And blessings.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I love it. Thank you. And in appreciation of that share, Andras, you're talking about putting together a global men's group, right? And doing men's work globally with the hardest, right? And so
Yeah.
can you just touch briefly on how people could get involved with that work with you? How is there a place for people to congregate with you yet? Is it ready?
Yes, it's called Hardest. And this is also at that same time when this came out, is when I was an artist and I just realized that I was a artist. The art of the heart is what it's all about. Well, this balancing act is art of the heart. So I call myself a artist in resonance. And that is the Facebook group right now that exists. And I call it Artists. So it's HARTA, Artists, with a plural S at the end.
Okay.
So it's a Facebook group, and that's how.
Okay. And so the men who are doing this work and are ready to unite with other men can meet you there. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Great.
Absolutely.
And we are rising. Let's go.
And it's also, of course, open. There's some men on the grandmothers group already, like I was.
Oh, yes,
I joined the grandmothers group, and I was like told that I shouldn't be there. Anyway, that's how I started the men's group. So everybody can join, and we're not even ladies want to join. That's fine. We just want balance.
Yeah, let's do it.
Stimulate.
Exactly. I think that's a great offering, and it's so timely, and I'm sure that this broadcast will touch many, many gentlemen, many men who are interested. I mean, 80 years on the planet, and you are, a gentleman, you're artistic, you're beautiful, you have integrity. There's all kinds of reasons why they should unite, right, and work together. So thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you so much. Mayanna, we're going to come back to you in just a moment. Love you so much. Yay. Thank you. So Hardest, plural, on Facebook, if you're a man or a woman or feeling masculine, and head on in there. So let's go, because it's all about coming together, right? We need no boundaries from this coming together. We just need yeses. Yes, yes, yes. We are going to work in love, care, and respect. Yes, yes, yes. All right, fantastic. Miss Randy Indra, I would like to bring your beautiful self in here, please. I know you have to get back on a bus and keep traveling, so I'd like to introduce you to the room and our greater global family. Miss Randy Indra has held down a space for 14 plus years in Austin, Texas, which is huge. It's a gigantuous event space, multiple rooms for experiences. She has a think tank tech hub / spiritual network, and safe and brave space container for everyone to unite in Austin, Texas, and they come from all over the world, and she's just a beautiful, beautiful human, and she's my friend. So Randy, can you talk to the people? You have a lot going on right now, so can you touch on the stuff that you're working on right now, please, and just tell us what you're up to and who you are.
Absolutely. Thank you for that sweet introduction. And I'm so grateful for all of the people here and all the people who are watching, because together we are arising. And my mission in life, I think, is to invite everyone to be the artist creator that they are, for we are all creator beings. And with so much love and honor and respect, I cherish this time on this planet and just give all my love to the people who are leading this way, and in the spirit of this fractal input that we each have with our own heart light. When we go together, it becomes this brilliant, colorful rainbow of expression, and that's what I feel is happening these days. I am from a family business that is in children's camping for special needs children called Caris Hills, is the camp that my family is running now. And that's spelled Charis Hills, Caris Hills. It means grace in Greek. And that offered me a very broad perspective of all kinds of different special populations, and especially, though, the skills and the heart light of all of these different demographics of people, such that no one is excluded. That's very important to me. And so 14 years ago, I founded, with great mentorship from the World Improvement Network, Indra's Warehouse, which is named after Indra's net. And Indra's net is this beautiful holographic mathematical concept from the Vedics that every single person and every single animal and being on this planet is a dewdrop on the web of life. This beautiful, sparkling dewdrop net. So when there is a change in one of those dewdrops, the entire net changes. The entire whole is raised. And that is what we are doing with We Are Rising. And it's the premise with which I do all of my community action. And yeah, Indra's Warehouse in Austin, Texas is music, art, performance, and technology. Over the years, we have had just about everything under the sun, from producers that are professionals and people who just have it in their heart that they want to start something that they may not even know how it's going to go. And that's very important to me, to keep that invitation open and to allow people to express their gifts through workshops and events, through their music, and even through technology incubation. So in Austin, Texas, we're a sacred hub for technology and music alike. And we have 3D planned interfaces. We have 3D Web3, Web5. We're working with a group called Plan Systems. We work with Tacedon, who's creating connections so that we can have nodal points and we can be our own small web of intranet as we create more and more nodes so that we can connect ourselves and not rely so much on the satellite systems. And we're also inviting co-creators such as Cloud Forest, who is offering each individual artist their own cloud, so that we won't be going to one big techno-bureaucratic cloud, but each person has their own cloud where we can toggle on and off our algorithms to choose where we want to share our data. So that is the next wave of data sovereignty. And sovereignty is the big buzzword in all of our goings on. We want to be a consent culture where we offer everyone the choice and we respect one another in our individualism. We respect one another in our ability to have an opinion and express that opinion, and value each other no matter what that opinion is, but have the love, honor, and respect for each other so that we are not ostracizing people from our communities, but further inviting people to the circle to encourage more communication and more compassion, more understanding, and more, talk therapy, where we need less lawyering in the world if we're able to circle together and really hear one another. The idea of really listening to one another. So in that regard, we have a wonderful new gift that we are sharing. I am so happy to be part of collaborations on Indra's Net. Indra's Net is available infrastructure already available on the planet. And we are inviting everyone not to register, but to regift Indra's Net, where you can go in and choose your most favorite name, not limited by the suffixes of the internet. So anything at anything.anything. This allows you a space ID where no personal data is attached, and an in-mail, an in-domain, and wonderful ways of self-reflection where you can hear the memory of a Loveness being's voice, where you can see a flipbook of your friend's face, and honestly, limitless amounts of new technology, all in the spirit of sovereignty and in self-reflection. And this is going to be, well, already is, a no-cost gift to the planet, which my heart is just shining to be able to say that. I have so much love and respect for the co-creators who are offering their open source expertise. This is not using AI in any way. This is very OG, as we say, with the languages that we're using. And it's actually very elegant and simpler in its data loads so that it can traverse all of the waves very seamlessly and quickly. So these are the main features so far that I'm able to share. And I invite you to go get yourself your no-cost InMail and InDomain and experiment on our IndrasNet. You can find it at indrasawarehouse.public.spaceid.art. That's indrasawarehouse.public.spaceid.art.
Amazing. And we will be dropping links along with the credits
All right.
Yeah, so that people can just click right through and go ahead and get their space ID.
Yeah.
And you heard it correct. It is not a part of the World Wide Web. It is its own thing. So if you wanted to find out what its own thing is like, I have my own domain. I made it for us. We Are Arising at wearearising.arising or something like that. I think that's what I chose. It was all so, and I made it for like a global freedom for humanity. When it comes, my intention was global freedom for humanity in tech sovereignty. So I'm totally on board with Randy and all the work that she's doing. I want to give a shout out to the Wizards and Alejandro for rounding up Earth Dance International. Every frickin' country on this planet, you go, my friend, you go. We grow. Okay, amazing. And there are events happening all the time at Indra's Warehouse. So it's a sovereign space in Austin if you are traveling. And there you go. Now you know where to be. It's the space. Amazing. Randy, thank you so much. Appreciate you, honey. Thank you for interrupting your travels to be here with us. And I'm appreciating their time and their energy staying in this conversation with us all. We are intentioning a collective container that is transformative and empowering and inspiring to everybody who's tuning in now and forevermore. Hallelujah. Thanks, Randy.
Love, love, love.
Amazing. All right, I'm going to bring Shri on next here. And Shri is a godsend. I met him in Nashville, Tennessee. I was there for Battery Coin and the Mother Earth Constitution, and I brought 6 projects in with me to get funding. Not one of them was about myself. They were all about everybody else. They were about Battery Coin. They were about International Children's Month. They were about We the World. They were about, oh gosh, then there was 3 more. Funding for everyone. That's what I was going there for. And I met Shri while I was playing the largest grand piano I've ever played in my life at Dark Horse Studios, where some massive artists have been performing. I was just singing my little song, and Aloe was there with me doing his little video thing, and there was Shri. And turns out he's a producer, and he has the biggest heart in the world, and he's really talented in finances and team spirit. And so I love you, and here he is. So Shri, can you talk to us a bit about what you're working on in the world and how we are arising through your beautiful work, please, and thank you.
Hey Heidi, first thing, I appreciate you, giving me a voice here in this group, and thanks for everyone that's sharing. It's very inspiring. The words that I would like to spread to the people is peace, love, unity, and respect. Before we talk about finances, let's talk about the human connection first. It's always been a dream of mine to travel the world and bring the most amazing music and to touch the hearts and emotions of people, kids, people growing up, people who have less, because I know music evokes a certain emotion that, that touches the heart. It connects to love, it connects to passion, and it helps people grow in a positive way. So when I met Heidi in, Bitcoin 2024, she actually sang a song that inspired me to work with her and kind of do greater things. And then now we're actually talking about doing a world tour. We are rising. That's going to be happening in 25 and 26. So when I talk about human connection, my background, I'm originally from Malaysia. I came to the United States with my family, and I'm a dreamer. So what that means, in the government way is when I turned 18, I kind of fell out of status. So I was an illegal immigrant in the United States living and trying to make a living out here. And I didn't understand what it took, to make it out here until I really worked hard and really connected with the people that really helped me get through and that really inspired me to get where I'm at today. It was all driven by music, and the music kind of put me in the right rooms with the right people. I know he mentioned Ram Dass. I've been in a room with Ram Dass. I always thought like, man, how am I in the room with all this amazing people that inspired me, And I learned over time that everyone that I cross paths with is part of my journey, my story, and everyone I connect with, actually, their souls connect with me and they inspire me in a certain way, and it helps me grow as a person, And with the concert that we're doing in 25, 26, I've had a plan 10 years ago to do like a major world tour in all the countries. I put together all these major plans, to bring it around the world. I got a lot of recognition, but it did not happen. And then now, 10 years later, it's actually going to be happening. And I think 2-3 years ago, I was actually in a hackathon at Solana. I was picked as one of the top developers for Solana. And then I ended up cracking the code of creating a shitcoin ATM, which is a cash for crypto machine, not just a Bitcoin ATM, but actually a machine that cashes you out for any crypto that you throw into the machine. So my really goal is, to bring music around the world, to inspire the kids to dream, to inspire people to hope, to love, to have faith, about growth, and to have access to an economy to where they'll be able to feed their families or do the things that they want to do. And they're not subjected to not being able to achieve that, And I feel that it all starts in the heart. And if we have hope, faith, peace, love, in our hearts, I think anything's possible, And that's how I ended up here. Heidi, thank you again. I appreciate it.
Amazing. Yes. We've got something coming out we're working on. We just joined forces, Sri and I, a company called Devo. We hope to decentralize the tourism industry money and put it into all the smaller projects and organizations and get people funding that way. And then we just made an album also, and it's dropping on September 21st for the International Day of Peace. So we're super excited about that. It's called Trilogy, and the song that Sri and I met over, it's called Butterfly Kisses. And my son asked me, what's a butterfly kiss? And I said, what? It's the one where you do the eyelashes onto the person, that's called a butterfly kiss. And he was like, oh, Mom, that's so funny. I said, yeah, it is. Be cute. And I said to Sri, shouldn't we change it to something a little more masculine? So we don't chase anybody away. And he's such a lover. He was like, oh, no. We must keep it as butterfly kisses. And I was like, oh, okay. Sounds so good. So I'm looking forward to dropping a link on that. Oh, yay. And so let me see here. Tree, thank you for sharing. And we will be dropping links. Is there anywhere you want people to find you? We are a Rising Tour. Is that where you want them to find you, or where else?
Yes, we are Rising Tour.
All right, 25-26. We're collectively going on a mission to see each other and to make the world a better place by uniting and creating the most beautiful medicine blanket we possibly can. Each of us being a beautiful, energetic signature within the blanket. Yeah, and I think that we're doing it. Everybody's feeling it at this time. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay. Janet, how do you feel about popping in here? You got some wonderful things to tell us. Now, I was on a women's empowerment panel with two of our guests today, and it was amazing and brought me back to a place. I've been in music for a really long time. I've also been a teacher for a really long time. Music, it's been very men eccentric, and teaching's been very women eccentric, and I say eccentric. And you know, you guys helped bring me home. Janet, you helped bring me home back into the sisterhood. I think that I had kind of, you know, I love women, but we had some, you know, some interesting times in the past. So I just want to thank you for kind of guiding me back to that space of sisterhood and, you know, embracing that feminine thing, you know, and our rising as women, and our rising as in solidarity of all of our hard battles we have won and the challenges we've been through as a species. You know, it's like, okay, here we go. So Janet, can you talk to us about what you've been up to? Because you have a significant contribution you've been working on.
Yes, thank you, Heidi, so much. And I relate to everyone who has spoken so far. I'm sending you all so much love. It's been such an honor to be in this room, in this sacred circle with all of you. So, you know, my work also, Virginia, I share the title as the Ambassador of Love, which was actually a gift when I was traveling in Israel and walking the footsteps of Jesus in 2010. And when I was sitting at the pools of Bethesda, and I call Jesus my boyfriend, he's been with me since I've been this big, and he sat down next to me and he brushed my hand and said, "Would you be an ambassador of love for me?" And of course, tears are streaming, and I'm like, yes. Wait, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. And so I've just been staying very curious and very tuned in to what does that mean for the last 14 years and probably my whole life, and many lifetimes, as we've all been on this journey for so many beautiful lifetimes. And here we are together sharing this beautiful space. So thank you so much, Heidi. And part of the work that I've been doing as an ambassador of love, as a spiritual life coach, as a teacher of truth, is to find ways to recognize our similarities, not our differences. So I've traveled the world and led sacred retreats in Africa and Israel and all over Europe, and just recently Bali with my sweet sister and partner Aurora, and Egypt and so many beautiful places. But finding our similarities has been such a gorgeous journey of the heart. And as a domestic violence advocate and helping thousands of women across the globe really find that place of peace in their hearts, that they can really honor their own sovereignty. And the words that so many of us are choosing are so in the meme and in the collective consciousness, because we're all really activating this incredible time of oneness, of coming together, of understanding the power of love, which the acronym for me with love is to lift our vibration eternally. So as we're all lifting our vibration eternally by even speaking this time of peace and joy and hope and freedom into existence in the biggest way we've ever seen possible. In 2020, when we were all in our experiment with humanity, and in these isolation experiments, as a domestic violence advocate, I realized that there was a sector of our society that was already in so much suffering, and the women were not able to escape, and the children were watching, and it just broke my heart. And I was one of those children that experienced a lot of abuse as a child, and figuring out how could I make a difference, and just sitting with God and saying, what is mine to do? And he said, it's time to eliminate abuse on this planet in your lifetime. Yes. And I said, okay, tears streaming down my face. What do I do? And it's moment by moment by moment, like all of us who are soldiers for God and soldiers for love and soldiers for life and humanity. And so on 11/11 of 2020, Grace's Place Foundation was birthed. And we are all about creating a future for humanity free of abuse. And so that's been a passionate heart work for me. And we've helped women all over the globe since 2020, because everything we've had to do has been online in these beautiful virtual communities. And how grateful we all are that we get to come together from whatever part of the globe we're in right now. And so as we are working in the field of creating this future for humanity free of abuse, whether it's bullying on the playground or domestic abuse in any form, emotional, mental, spiritual, psychological, financial, it doesn't matter. In 2024 and beyond, there is no room for abuse. There is this new world that we are co-creating in this moment, right here, right now, with the power of our voice, with the power of our hearts. This world is the world that we want, all of us want, for our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren to come, to never know what the word abuse means or feels like. And as I just want to take a moment to just invite all of us to just close our eyes and to put our hands on our hearts and just to bow in reverence, in unconditional love, and in deep, deep, deep respect for this precious thing called life. And as we pour our life force energy from our hearts to each heart in this room, to each heart who is listening to this message, and to honor and to heal the hearts of our ancestors that endured pain and suffering to bring us into this physical existence in this lifetime. And then to take this next beautiful breath together. And as we pour our unlimited love into the generations to come, and to just know that by the power of our love, we have brought forth a whole new world filled with joy, hope, and promise, knowing that together we can create a future for humanity free of abuse. Thank you all so much. I love you. I'm so grateful for all of you. And thank you for all that you're doing on the planet. And my love is with you all.
Oh, Janet, thank you so much. That was so powerful. I saw all my relations, grandmothers, 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 grandfathers, 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 for all of us come pouring into the room. So thank you for that. It's amazing when we put our intention and attention on something, how it compounds, right? And then we're just building this beautiful thing, and this energy is happening here. So I love that part, and we have invited Janet and Aurora to come on to handle the women's arm of the tour, and especially when it comes to this, our murdered and missing women. And we want to have a task force that we leave behind at different reservations that we're working with to help end that trauma that's happening there. And then we also have, of course, what's happening all over the world globally when it comes to the abuse of our children and our women. So we look forward to bringing this to a transformation that will bring it to an end, that will take the next level for women's rights globally and children's rights globally, all the way. I'm with you 1,000%. Let's go. My goal is to end child murder and abuse planetarily, globally, for all countries, all nations. So Janet, thank you so much. So Grace's Place, how do people find you?
Yes. So thank you so much, Heidi. Grace's Place Foundation.org has all the information on the programs and the things that we're doing to create a global movement and global communities, compassionate communities across the globe. So I know that you and I connected at the heart for so many reasons. And so, yeah, for this particular portion of my work, Grace's Place Foundation.org is the place to find me. Yeah.
Amazing. I appreciate you. Yeah, multifaceted for sure. We are rising.earth. We'll have everybody's headshots and bios and where to go for their different projects. And so for now, we've got gracesplace.org, correct?
Grace's Place Foundation.org.
Grace's Place Foundation.org. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for that amazing contribution for women's safety and safe and brave space for women and children. I really appreciate you, Janet. Thank you so much for your time today. Yay! And thank you to everybody who's hanging in here, keeping the energy high. Appreciating you very much. Awesome. Okay. We just lost Aloe. So David Cam, can you go ahead and give us David and I have been working together for about 15 years. And he is a longtime friend of mine. His heart is beautiful. His projects are amazing. He is tirelessly, relentlessly working for humanity and the greater good for the environment. He is an absolute beautiful contribution to this planet. We co-wrote some white papers back in the day on basic income and on asset-backed cryptocurrency. I think that we had about 10 or 15 years ago and throughout the last decade, various unity and peace groups had been absorbing other people's projects and utilizing whatever they wanted to and then running off with them. So it wasn't a very nice start to the birth of something new, but miracles are messy, as Shannon likes to say, and we all grow from it, don't we? So we've come back around with a stronger contribution, and David is a fantastic person, and I'm so happy that he's here. So David, what are you working on these days, and what's happening?
Thank you so much. Love being here. I'd like to thank the people from 11 Days of Global Unity, and We Are Arising. And I look forward to International Day of Peace on September 21st, 2024. Hopefully, in the future, we don't have to celebrate International Day of Peace anymore, because peace is 365 days a year. So that's what we're looking for. I'm the founder of Battery Coin at batterycoin.org and founder of the Mother Earth Constitution at motherearthconstitution.com. Actually, we started Heidi, myself, and actually Shannon Crossberry was also involved, and we wrote and launched the Mother Earth Constitution around 2011, actually, we first signed it in 2011. But we started writing in 2009, so it was more than 15 years ago. The idea behind it was originally to create a borderless world that is based on not geographic borders, but based on Mother Earth itself, where Mother Earth becomes a platform and becomes the nation that we're all part of. Because there's a lot of countries fighting with each other and they're trying to kill each other over a geographic border. So why don't we create an alternative secondary citizenship that everybody can be a part of, like in the entire world that agrees to it. So it's like a global citizenship, and we decided to draft that Mother Earth Constitution together. It was just like a brief few pages. It wasn't comprehensive. It was just inspirational. We have indigenous leaders sign it, and people around the world signed it, and it was put in the Book of Honor with Nancy. I forgot her last name, but it was put in that book. And then afterwards, we didn't do anything for the last 15 years, basically. And
Wait a minute.
since
Okay, the book has been traveling. The book has been traveling with the Constitution in it. So we did do something. Keep going.
yes, but I mean that we didn't do major things. So right now, with the launch of GTP at the end of 2022, there was a huge urgency to to bring back the Mother Earth Constitution, to rewrite it, because the AI itself is what we call existential threat to humanity. And the existential threat is not from the AI itself, but humanity itself, because the AI is trained on all the data of humanity, including the greed, the wars, the murders, and all those other things, child abuse. They're all going to the AI that is being trained on it. So when people are saying that we have a AI alignment problem, then I thought about, it's not AI alignment problem. We have a human alignment problem. That means that, with the humans are not aligned in peace, in cooperation, in love, and all those beautiful things. That's the best of humanity. So now the humanity is like the global parents, the collective parents for the AI. And if AI is being trained, like right now, it's being trained for war, to autonomous weapons where they can identify and kill people without human intervention. So this is kind of very dangerous, training the AI for that, because then it could turn on humanity. So then we thought about to rewrite the entire constitution to protect us from the artificial intelligence, but also to realign human values. So that means in the constitution, there is peace, there's a way, and there is actual laws that then there's a court system that can prosecute people if they break the laws, for the peace, for the destruction of the earth. If the corporations destroyed Earth, there's a way to remediate or repair it. And if there's child trafficking or human abuse of children, there's a way to rectify it. And this actually, the Constitution is nothing more like, in the U.S. Constitution, it starts off with "we the people." When that constitution was written, they were talking about we, the people, the landowners, which is the white men. That women were not part of it. But right now, it's a general sense that we the people is that we the people of the United States, everyone. So when we create a constitution, is that a constitution is created by the people. It's not created by countries. So what if we came together and create a constitution, bring billions of people together and create our own constitution that is different, and create a different society and a world. So and it has its own laws that we can, it's enforceable. Basically, the Constitution is the highest law of the land. They call it the supreme law. So the United States Constitution is the supreme law of the United States. But what if we create a constitution that is a supreme law of Mother Earth? So that's why we came up with the idea with a Mother Earth Constitution to relaunch it. Not the main goal is to regulate the AI, artificial intelligence, which will be coming into the world that is a super sentience that means it's smarter than every single human on Earth, and there's no way to control it. And if it doesn't have ethics built into it, like through the Constitution, it's going to be another like what we call Skynet or Terminator scenario. But there's also hope for the AI because AI can cure diseases. And like example, like AI has been more efficient in recognizing or breast cancer, early detection of breast cancer. It does a lot better job than even doctors or radiologists for it. So there is really great things that can happen with the AI, but without the guidance of ethics behind it, there's really no hope because we're headed down to a path of destruction. Because right now, uh, with the launch of ChatGPT, we're headed down what we call two roads. There's one road going the way we are, which is headed to destruction. Then there's a second road that we are creating that has not been created yet, that we're all want to create together. That's the second road. That's the road to heaven on earth or paradise that we can create. And this blueprint or constitution is to create that second road to be able to head that road. Because right now, people have no choice. When their economic system or the money system or their jobs, there's really no choice. They cannot get out of it because the foundation itself is broken. So if we create a new foundation that is runs parallel to the existing system, then it gives people a choice. They could choose the old road to go down the same hyper competition, backstabbing each other, scarcity, war like that. But then there's a second choice. So the people who are more conscious, who can go down that road with the think programs like World Basic Income, where people are taken care of. There's universal health insurance, universal life insurance, and all those things that we can be part of. And how we can build that is the AI is going to take away around 40 to 60% of the jobs worldwide. And it's based on all the collective knowledge of humanity that's benefiting, that trains the AI. So if we actually have a currency tied to the AI, then it's not a tax. It's actually the corporations that are using the artificial intelligence are paying for those services, and that money is redistributed back to the people of the planet. That's part of it. So think of the AI as taking away 40 to 60% of jobs. It's going to the AI, that money, right? And that money can be redistributed back to the people. But there's a secondary thing that the AI is bringing in that's very, very important. It's creating what we call a creator's economy. That means every single person on the planet is now a creator. Before, people couldn't draw or couldn't make music or couldn't make videos or content. It's become a creator. So actually, with this system that we developed with the battery coin, is that we can help monetize or tokenize creativity. And since creativity is unlimited, we can actually create unlimited abundance and wealth. So think about it, each one person that creates something like art, poem, music, film, it first of all provides a way to fund all the films independently that can be created, all the music independently. But that money, that artist is sharing it back with the world. They are taking care of themselves, but the portion they're sharing back with the world. So we want to do this is because one of the reasons I'm passionate about doing this is because my eldest brother died from starvation in China after World War II. And because it's due to the system that caused the entire world system, including the capitalist system and the Chinese communist system, the entire system of the world is based on scarcity and not lack of and control and everything, which I don't want to be a part of. And since my eldest brother died from starvation, my father tried to escape from China by swimming the shark-infested oceans from China to Macau to escape death from starvation. He strapped a bicycle tire onto himself, the inner tube of bicycle tire, and it took him 2 days to swim across the ocean to escape communism and to have a new life. So that's the only reason I'm here. I'm here to give back to the world and to create a world where people don't have to struggle. People can thrive, not only the people, but the animals and everyone, all the living beings on earth can thrive and live in harmony with nature. And also there's reparations that can be made for stolen land from indigenous people in the Mother Earth Constitution. It revokes the doctrine of discovery. Most people don't know what the doctrine of discovery is, but it's a papal bulls from the Vatican that authorize the enslavement for non-Christians. So all those things from child trafficking to enslavement for discrimination are all stemming from a couple of documents. It's called Doctrine of Discovery. And even the enslavement of humanity at this present time is based on this document by the Vatican. It's not revoked yet. So we, as a people, we can come together, billions of people, just to revoke it ourselves. And it's still operational, that system. That's why in the United States, there's reservations, which is prisoner of war camps that exist. And the people in Australia and New Zealand, their tribes are still being oppressed in both. And also there is even in Brazil, I don't know if people know, but in the Amazon, Indians leaders and indigenous leaders are being murdered at this present time due to cattle farmers, logging and mining companies. They're just, when they speak up, they're going to kill them. So all those things we try to rectify and create a new system that can heal that. Complete.
Yeah, complete. He has so much more to say and so much more to share. Batterycoin.org, and motherearthconstitution.com. Correct, David? motherearthconstitution.com.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. We're launching it on the September 21st, so there's nothing there yet. We created a video, and Heidi will be showing it.
Yes, you're going to see a video at the end of this panel discussion from the Mother Earth Constitution. Thank you so much, David. It's obvious your passion and your dedication, and I just want to acknowledge all the work. You guys, the Mother Earth Constitution is 200 pages long. I was editing it. So it's very in-depth and covers every single area that we could possibly think of that needs to be covered to help humanity thrive and flourish and end our suffering. So I hope everyone will sign it. If 8 billion of us are sovereignly governing ourselves in love, care, and respect, that means no one needs to tell us what to do. I like that. I think that's a really great way forward. Amazing. Thank you, David, so much for everything. I appreciate you so very much. Yay. Okay. Miss Aurora, you want to chime in here and give us some more women's empowerment business about how we are doing this, what's happening, and how it's going to come together?
It's beautiful to be here, and I am tuning in from a little seaside town on the east coast of Australia this morning. And dear Shannon, your words really touched my heart. So I'm going to start with what I feel encouraged by this morning. And what I feel encouraged by this morning is looking outside my window to the most beautiful nature, the rivers, the trees, the surrounding mountains, and Mother Earth. And what I feel most grateful for in this moment, thank you, Shannon, is that I have continued to listen to the inner calling and intuition of my heart. And from this place, I really want to open a conversation and add a contribution to the weaving that has continued to happen in the listening of my heart. And thank you, Andras, as you were speaking and sharing your wisdom, what I started to see was the beautiful figure 8, the 8 that was actually weaving these seemingly opposing opposites that we may have, the masculine, feminine, the heart, the mind, business, spirituality. And I feel like as we are arising, this place of unity is really being supported by this beautiful symbol of infinity and of the 8. My beautiful business partner and co-founder and sister and friend Grace and I decided earlier this year that we would also weave 2 aspects of our work into a new way of playing, a new way of contributing, and a new way of inviting women to continue to come back into their own weaving of their genius, their gifts, and their hearts. And it all began for me in a deeper way when I recognized that my work was not only to serve the women of the world, the children, but also my particular unique contribution was to also continue to work with Mother Earth. And she has continued to awaken me every step of the way to totally understand that we are whole and that we are already in this place of unity, and yet we forget. And so the work that I have been weaving through my organisation, She Speaks, which was birthed over a decade ago, an organisation that is committed to support women to remember the feminine intelligence that lays within them, and also this intelligence that is awakening in our men, so that we can start to bring the qualities of intuition, the qualities of deep listening, the qualities of heart intelligence, the qualities of the oracular, the spoken word, the vibration that we're sharing here now that is encoded with the magic of newness and evolution, to start to bring the containers and the spaces across the globe for women to come back to remember. And in that remembering, to be willing to arise by allowing themselves to feel and to allow themselves to express so they could release what is no longer serving, to start to move into a place of reclaiming our gifts, reclaiming our love, reclaiming our true nature. And to do that in conjunction not only with a deeper connection to themselves, a deeper connection with each other, a deeper connection to Mother Earth, but with all of life. And so as I enter this conversation about peace and we are rising, I feel ignited and activated to continue my work, which at this point is about to take me to Egypt. And you're all welcome to support the activation of light codes and peace codes for that region, specifically on the full moon in ceremony in the Great Pyramid, which is one of the things we'll be doing. But it's the continuation of being an ambassador of the heart. And I also agree, Andras, that this is about coming back into balance in a new way, in a way that we may never have experienced before. And so the willingness to continue to dancing with the places that are continuing to heal, because I feel all of us, the whole globe, is going through another wave of healing. Even for many of us who've been deeply, in that place of inner workings, we're all going through another wave of healing, another opportunity for evolution, which is happening anyway. So we can choose to do it consciously or not. And also I feel in this healing, we're also all refining our calling, our particular jigsaw puzzle piece, that when we offer it and the other piece comes together, that all of a sudden this weaving becomes this completely new experience. And so I continue to share my heart and my love and it's an absolute pleasure to be here. I want to invite us to take a unified deep breath in together. It's one of the most simplest, easy ways, and include everyone who's watching this. Let's just take a beautiful deep breath in together. And a long breath out. I want to finish with a little story. In 2020, as I went into my daily practice of meditation, all of a sudden a vision or an experience of this great sacred rock that lives in Australia called Uluru came into my meditation. And I was like, wow, what's she doing here? In the continued wooing of this sacred place, in my meditation, in my inner quiet space, she started to woo me to get closer. And I got to understand and feel that she was a living, breathing being. And I was like, wow, I knew of Mother Earth, but I didn't understand. I hadn't had the experience that she is a living, breathing being in her unity, in her wholeness. And a mission was birthed. A mission was birthed to travel to the sacred centers of the planet, which I now understand many are her chakra centers, and to go to these power centers of the globe to not only exchange my codes with her, but to have her codes exchange with me and with others who were also impulsed through their hearts to be there at that time. And so in that willingness to listen, and in the weaving of the work that Janet Grace and I had been doing for women across the globe, our sacred conversations, inviting women into the oracular knowledge of the voice and sharing and circles, we decided to birth She Rises Travel. You can see it in the back of her screen. Well done. And She Rises Travel is an opportunity for transformative travel, but the invitation for men and women, depending on the offerings, to travel back to these power centers to actually help Mother Earth create the new by doing it within ourselves and with each other. And so a way of actually connecting to that, you can find Grace and I at sherisestravel.com. We've just come back from the purification portal of the planet Bali, which was impressive and incredible and amazing. As I said, I'm just about to go to the throat chakra of the planet. In October, again, you're welcome. The clarion call is out for those who are feeling impulse to be there on this sacred land at this time, and we will also take a group next year. So sherisestravel.com, come check us out. We'd love to play with you, to express with you. My organisation is shespeaks.live. So if you want to contact us, you're very welcome. And I also want to invite you to join us during the 11 days of global unity, where Grace and I will actually be offering She Is Rising to really honour the women, and love that you're working with the men. And I love when we also come together, like in this panel in the beautiful figure 8. She Is Rising on the 17th of September for the women's campaign, and I'm sure we'll be able to get that out to you. I love you. I honour you. I send my blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you are doing and who you're becoming. And to our viewers, deep blessings and love. Sending love from Australia.
Amazing. That's so beautiful. I feel like I just went on a journey with you. Thank you so much. You're a great storyteller too. Oh my goodness. What a gift you are for all of us. I really want to come to Egypt. So if not this year, then next year. I'm going to join you on that. I have a similar calling of singing the sacred sites. So I have to figure out how to blend my energies with you guys so I can travel around and do some work there. Thank you so much. I will, of course, drop the links. Everybody here, there will be access to everyone's links. Thank you so much for your time and your beautiful contribution to this panel. It's Aurora. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Okay, amazing. Aloysius Brewer. Yeah, this beautiful man has helped bring my heart to a whole new level. He helped open the very first legal hemp dispensary in LA. He was general manager for an event space in Los Angeles called Awa Oasia, where artists and workshop artists, educators and spiritualists and dancers and all kinds of different people could come together. And he's been on a regenerative community journey for most of his life. And Alo, why don't you give us a update on what you're working on and what's happening in the world for you. And we are arising.
All right.
Yay.
Okay. Well, I'm very humbled by hearing all of y'all speak and to be coming after y'all. Thank you for all being here. This is amazing. And thank you, Heidi. I want to share with y'all a little bit about what I've been doing through Heidi's work, through the Center for Advancement in Social Emotional Learning. It's taken me on quite a journey. It's just 8 stacking modules, and we're finally at the closing part of it. And I feel amazing and completely transformed. And we're looking to start a whole new cohort, and myself being part of the leader of it, along with 3 other individuals, Heidi being one. We'll be guiding everyone through it, and we have a number of people that are joining. So I want to invite any one of y'all to join with us, and I could share more of that with y'all. Any case, yeah, it's been quite a journey knowing Heidi now for just over 6 months. Came into Austin. Right now I'm in Laurel Canyon, Austin. That's where I live. And when I met Heidi, I was living in a tiny home, and I was at a crossroad, and I had an hour of what do they call it, meeting my soul at the darkest hour type of moment, right before I met Heidi. And I was talking to God, and I was asking God, why am I here? What is the reason why I'm here in Austin? And beyond the reason of bringing my son out of Los Angeles and being close to my family, I know there's a greater, even more of a reason. And, I asked for the guidance and signs for God to just, make sure, bring me right on the right path. And within days, literally like 2 days, Heidi showed up at my doorstep. And we didn't get a whole lot of time together because of different reasons. But then by the end, it just so happened that I ended up on the street helping her load her instruments. I didn't know it was her instruments in her car. And we got talking about community. And we really hit it off. And that's kind of been the path since then. I've been wanting community for a long time beyond what I had in Los Angeles. I've lived in community for 20 years now in Los Angeles, though I've been wanting land. I've been wanting to be able to spread my wings and be out on a bigger platform. And Heidi has 6 acres, and she has a tiny home out there. And we're talking about starting a tiny home community. Any case, it's all really exciting. A little background on me. I'm a military brat. I grew up on military bases my whole life. I grew up starting off in Joshua Tree out in the desert. The biggest military base in the world is a tank base. So I got to hear tanks shoot their missiles, preparing for the Middle East back in the early 80s. Yeah, it was lovely. Any case, from there I went to Okinawa, Japan, and got to see, devastation that the United States has wreaked across the world, and got to hear all this different stories. And I started looking within at a very early age and started realizing, that there's a big problem. There's a big problem in the world. And about 9 years old, before we left to go to Okinawa, I did a retreat. It was through the military, through a rec center, and it was incredible. It was all self-development, spirituality through, the military's Catholic Church, ironically enough. Well, it was definitely soul opening. And that was one of my first transformative experiences that kind of led me on the path that I'm on today. And just seeing the different things that we as the United States has done to the people like out there in Japan and whatnot. By the time I was 14, I lived in Southern California, and I experienced extreme abuse through gang violence. And, you know, I rebelled, and I had quite a childhood, quite a teenage childhood that took me in many different directions, though I learned a lot and I wouldn't change a thing. And I kind of gone back and forth, and I found myself in my mid-20s in Los Angeles, where I've been for now 20 years. And like Heidi said, I opened one of the first dispensaries in downtown Los Angeles. And which really speaks to my heart, because a lot of the members of the different gangs that were part of the military base came from Los Angeles. And so I felt like I was able to do direct work right into those communities. I don't know if y'all know, but the military actually recruits out into impoverished communities. And so in Southern California, yeah, they reached their hand into Los Angeles. And I lived in Los Angeles, mainly in South Central, for about 20 years. My son was born there. And we had, the first dispensary. And we had, it was a double storefront. And we had about 30 practitioners there on hand at any given time, teaching workshops. I was a health chef in the kitchen, a holistic health chef in the kitchen, facility manager. I was president at one time, vice president, and one of two co-founders. And we were there for 7 years. We really impacted the community. And we taught people how to grow their own herb, how to vaporize, how to do it in the healthiest ways possible. And we also taught them about other essential oils and health. Anyways, beyond that, we got shut down by the city with everyone else through the moratorium. This was in 2012. So the world ending in 2012 did happen for some of us. That was our whole world came to an end. But it transformed into then with the same people from there to Agua Oasia, which Heidi also spoke of. And it was like what some would call a spiritual nightclub, though we also did commercials and weddings and different things like that. I was the general manager there before the pandemic hit. And again, another end of the world kind of came about, and I had to go back to my home repair business. Any case, which I'm grateful for all of it, because I've learned so much, and kind of bring me, and now it has brought me to Austin, and I am so looking forward to be working with all of you and starting a new cohort, and starting a community that we are all a part of. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing, Aloysius Brewer. And so really, Aloe is all about community. Okay. So from all of those stories, I hope everybody gets that whole vibe. His thing is community, regeneration, human connection, flourishing. And he's working on the We Are Rising tour with us. And he is right now taking care of the artists. He's going to be, we're starting with heart song artists. So there's some different artists. We're not going to drop names because we haven't confirmed anybody yet, but you know, he's working on that whole side of it as well as community organization. And then we're working on this, you know, first ever AI smart home, tiny home, off-grid, but Web 5.0, Tacedon related community that hopefully will help transform homelessness and take care of way more people than are being taken care of right now. So Aloe.
There's a lot to talk about. Yes, there's so much.
A lot to talk about, and I really appreciate you sharing, how you come to be a community organizer, how you come to be a person who's, serving the community. It's a huge part of We Are Arising is how we are coming together. And you just got to witness how that happens. People sharing their heart openly and in love, care, and respect for others. So thank you so much.
I'm a warrior of the light in service to all of you. Thank you.
Yay. Well, we are honored to be with you here on this journey. Thank you so much for your time and your patience and your contribution of your energy to this panel. Yay. Cerulean, I'm going to plug you in next here, and Mayanna's going to round us up at the end. So Cerulean, Cerulean is also in the We Are Rising team. He is handling regenerative community as well as some other things. I know him to be a very kind-hearted and beautiful person who's dedicated to the mission and the cause, and he's doing the work every single day. So Cerulean, can you talk to us a little bit about the work that you're doing now and how we are rising?
Yes. Greetings, everyone. Pleasure being here. I'm so touched and honored with everyone shared. Very inspired by everyone that has shared at this point. And it's amazing that we've kept almost everyone here all of this time. And I'm honored by you all very much. So kind of, I guess, a little background of what brought me here. My connection here to Heidi, as it were, is Aloe. Speaking of community. And so I started out here in LA and doing some stuff in entertainment, came out here from North Carolina to do screenwriting, producing, things of that nature. Did a number of things in the industry, from stand-up comedy to radio to production, so on and so on. And I had a point where my brother was overseas, and I just had a epiphany of a moment of clarity, actually, just kind of like, what's the higher purpose? My brother was writing me letters from overseas, and I just was like, I don't want to be out here talking about entertainment stuff. I yearn for something more holistic and more grounding. So long story short, I had a project that took me to Denver, and then that's where I got reintroduced to Mother Nature, as it were, reintroduced to community that I experienced growing up back in North Carolina, and did a number of projects out there under the umbrella of green sustainability, things of that nature. So we worked with helping community gardens there. We did recycling programs with the Pepsi Center there, with Cinco de Mayo Festival, with a number of other companies, and worked with the youth organization there, helping them to, with their messaging. They had a messaging, one of the messages they had at the time was helping the youth understand what it is to have clean water, what it takes to have clean water, and how to prevent pollution and littering, things of that nature. So I got a grant. We got a grant for an organization that I was doing there. So I got thrown into the throes of running a nonprofit organization that was built around helping people go green at that time in Denver and Boulder area. And they needed business development. They had a bunch of people that were there looking for jobs and gotten out of school. And my girlfriend at the time was like had one of the first masters in sustainability from Naropa. And so everyone kind of was magnetized to her, but she kind of was weighed down, like, hey, I need envisioning, I need revenue streams, things of that nature. So she saw my background, business development, sales, and so we kind of brought a whole team together to reorganize, and we made an impact. And we were ahead of our time for sure at that moment. That was back in like 2014, 2012. And long story short, I come back to LA looking to reduplicate what I discovered there in Denver. And I came across that, just my love of music and film brought me in to find this newfound family. So I come back to LA to like, man, is it possible to create that here? Long story short, one of the people that I ran into along that time was Alo and some other folks. And, over the years, we've, kept a base of community and doing events at different places from the valley all the way down to the beach. And then I really got synergized with really what my dream and vision was during the pandemic, as it were. When they shut down, LA had one of the biggest regulations and stringent, things. You couldn't go anywhere. They didn't even want you going out of the house. And I was like, doggone it. As a kid, I grew up, I was punished all the time. I'd be damned if I'm going to be an adult and you're going to tell me what I can't do. So I'm going to be an essential worker. And we started, me and a group of two other guys here, we started out, two other guys, three of us, we started doing a gardening project at underutilized land. It's one of the first places we started was in Compton at a school, community garden over there. And going out there early in the morning, just with the birds and with the sunrise and everything like that, really got me to a point to reconnect with Mother Earth, rediscovered my voice, rediscovered my artistry in the midst of getting grounded and planting and working in the ground and things of that nature. And my artistry was rebirthed, as it were. So I started singing, doing poetry, rapping, and just all back into my art. Just out there with the birds is my cohorts, as I like to call it, just from the heart. And it was really refreshing for me. And then we grew food and started to give it away to people. And people were like, oh, you should charge for this. And it's like, no, we got it free. We're doing research and development now. We just really want to pay it forward. And as we continue to work on our craft of gardening and farming in the earth, and one thing led to another. We got, that's why it's like, don't despise small beginnings. As we worked that place, we got other lands, other parcels, acres to be stewards over. So that went from El Segundo, went to Watts, went to Antelope Valley, went overseas now, as it were, because one of our associates took the videos and pictures and stuff of what we were doing, and so now that's over in the Caribbeans, and now we've circled back, and now it's expanded to Alabama, North Carolina, Georgia, and on, and really synergized from coming to holding this big, like, is it possible in Babylon as it can be sometimes in LA, Hollywood area, to bring this community and bring community into this space. And it's been working. Conscious community has been developing and is going forward. And I was with Alo and his son when they loaded up the U-Haul truck with all their stuff and didn't know what they were going into, but knew that they had faith that they were going to build and take community there. And so it's beautiful to see how this has come forward. He was called me and was so happy when he connected with Heidi, and I was like, man, that's what it's all about, because it'd be hard to find that here in LA. And then all that Heidi brings and connection to the world, and I'm greatly honored by how it's really come full circle at this point. And my work now is just like the We Are Rising tour. I'm so excited because that's another vision I've always had. I was, was aware of We Are the World back in the day, and what was the other farming project? I forgot what that was, but yeah, it's always been the type of thing like, let's have a big boom, big boom stage so that people can see like everyone coming together, and then let's have silos that come from that, and people going back to their communities and helping, bring up where they are, and fill in the gaps and things that are inherent in a lot of different cities and places and things like that. So at this point, what I'm looking to help bring to the We Are Rising aspect is the regenerative community that we've started here, and it's going out to other locations, and helping educate people on, coming back to Earth, coming back to Mother Earth, and helping people establish communities, helping build eco home ownership so that people can have affordable houses that they own and that are earth friendly and that are safe, from storms and earthquakes and things like that. And that's something that Aloe didn't get into, but that's something that I saw one of the places that I've been able to witness. He built, it was partially underground. And so, that's something that we've always looked to bring forth, is having different alternative housing methods available to people, whether it's earthships, whether it's tiny homes, whether it's container homes, whether it's hempcrete houses, whether it's yurts, whether it's so on and so on. And so we've been able to start some examples here and to bring it forth. And I'm excited about what Heidi's going to do on her property. And yeah, we look to bring more gardens and farms to underutilized properties, show people how that can be done. If they're not physically able, to have the volunteer network to be able to tie in with that. And I'm excited about some of the other technology that we have available with the battery coin and Devo to connect, to be able to make these things possible and make it fluid, and the connectivity to be there, that it's a holistic type of project where people can own their property and still be able to generate revenue from where they live. And it's, it's holistically for the family. So it's for youth, it's for elders, it's for veterans, and a lot of, tribal lands have experienced, they're being confronted with a lot of youth and older populations just being faced with, a lot of empty time and needing direction and things of that nature, needing something positive to plug into. So we believe what we have with the aspect of bringing in, the kind of the Habitat for Humanity model of building houses together in unity. And I've seen it done in Mexico, where people are able to put up houses within 2 days because of the workforce is there. Seen here in LA, in the South Central area, we've been able to get gardens established within a day, by collective force. And now we look to bring in the clean energy aspect so that, we're bringing people away from the system. We're, getting people off the grid. We're helping people, collect water, be able to create clean water, do tree planting, those, clean up neighborhoods. Those are all things that we're excited about doing. And with the We Are Rising tour, I envision, as the concerts and things are happening and there's, the events are happening, we'll have breakout sessions with the people that are there and educate them, and then also go out into community and actually do some on-hand stuff together. We'll go out and say, okay, well, this area needs cleaning up, or we have this area they want to do a garden, or this family over here needs a home. We'll be able to do those things. We'll have the resources to do that. We'll have the manpower, the we power to be able to do that. And that's the exciting part that I'm looking forward to. And yeah, I could say more, but I know we've been on a while here, but very excited to meet everyone. It's been a blessing, and hearts back to you all.
Amazing, Cerulean. Yeah, thank you. It's all about the tools, right? Like, we want to just give people as many tools as we can possibly give them to just set themselves free, right? So it's like thank you for bringing it home there. That's beautiful. That's right on par. It's like volunteerism is going to be huge, and building those task force to help get things done. What are people's callings? We potentially can help pay them also to volunteer, which would be amazing. If we can get this paid volunteerism thing happening, I think it's going to be amazing. So thank you so much, Cerulean, for sharing your journey and, what's brought you to the table. I really appreciate, your history, your life, your vision, and where you're at in the world. And I just want to honor you there and in that way. And same thing for everybody here. What I hope everyone understands, and everyone who ever sees this broadcast understands, is, these people are all in different areas, working all day, every day, for this part of the symphony that they are. And, you know, this is what makes up our community, you know, and I'm just so grateful for everyone's contribution. Everyone has a very different contribution. And this is what I wanted to show from this panel. So I'm going to round up the panel with Mayana. She's been doing amazing work with Peace Productions, and now she stepped into this world of grandmothers. And for the people who know me, I've been doing International Children's Month with Shannon and David and Bob Challenger for years. And now it was always a plan to have the grandmothers and the grandfathers mentor the children, because that's a very symbiotic and beautiful relationship. And I was building the website Earth Guardians to launch this partnership between grandmothers, grandfathers, and children, and in different areas of interest, like water grandmothers and grandfathers, or forest grandmothers and grandfathers, or food systems, you know, all the different areas. It was called Earth Guardians. And I get a call from a 12-year-old Chutes Scott Martinez one day saying, "Oh, we made this thing called Earth Guardians." And I was like, "Oh, you too, huh? Okay. What do you guys want to do?" He was like, "We're launching youth chapters across the planet." And I was like, "Perfect. We're going to get right behind you on that one." So I just dropped that, and then just, you know, supported the children, and they blew up all over the planet with their Earth Guardians thing. So anyone whose children want to have something to do, you know, Earth Guardians, International Children's Month, Roots and Shoots with Jane Goodall, and of course our We the World Children and Youth theme, we have ample space for children and youth to be active in this time. Okay, so that being said, Mayana is a beautiful, gorgeous woman, and I think I saw 60,000 grandmothers united in the last couple of months, Mayana. So can you talk to us, please, about the work and how you're going to weave the grandmothers into this We Are Arising, or how they're bringing the Arising? I mean, what's even going on?
Yeah, we are rising. That it's a fact. We are doing that, and it's really a pleasure to be with you all here. And I hear little ways that we are weaving together our work and what has been gifted to us is the opportunity to serve through our nonprofit Peace Production the grandmothers, because the grandmothers are the most vulnerable members of our societies. They've been through the most trauma. Women of a certain age have all been through their own traumas, and they have come through it with wisdom. And so it's not just about being a grandmother, it's about the wisdom that we each carry, no matter where we are in the world. We are a Facebook group called Global Grandmothers Council Network. That's grandmothers apostrophe. And Heidi and we were doing the Global Medicine Wheels this spring. We had 3 Global Medicine Wheels. And between the second and the third Medicine Wheels, this blew up. And it went from 1,200 members in February to now 55,500 members, with no advertising, no effort, no action to make that happen. Grandmothers saw those words, Global Grandmothers apostrophe Council Network, and were like, I'm in. I've been longing for this. I've been waiting for this. And the original group was started by Suzanne Lewis and Sharon Raiji Maynard with Brook Medicine Eagle. And it was based on the wisdom of the 13 grandmothers, and that grandmothers are where we used to go for wisdom. You know, in the indigenous cultures, that's where we went. We went to the grandmothers in our tribes. And so we are a gathering. We're weaving. We are gathering grandmothers. We're in 48 countries. And it's just so amazing. Peace Production was invited to adopt the organization and provide 501c3 status and take it in, adopt the Facebook group and create an organization out of it, whereby grandmothers all over the world can connect with each other in a safe and secure website that will be launched on 10/10. We had our first soft launch on 9/9, where you can get pre-memberships. There's the free option is, you know, very rich and full, and any funds that come in are going to go right back out to those grandmothers. It's a redistribution of wealth. There's marketplace, there's academies for classes, workshops, events. We'll have on the ground and online events. The whole purpose of the group is to weave together local grandmother councils, that many of them are already in place, and they just want to be able to connect with the world, and all the grandmother councils connecting together and weaving all of that wisdom into declarations and policies and procedures and plans and projects and whatever grows. We are in a bloom. We are blooming. And our website is using that theme. So our soft launch, you can go to join.globalgrandmotherscouncil.org. And it's just the original sign up page now for pre-launch. You know, we just 9/9 we had a birthing and the transition was intense, but now we are coming out and it's all just coming together, volunteers, all these wise women coming together and saying, I feel the call. This is something in my heart that says, yes, I've been waiting for this and I want to do this. I'm all in. I have 10 minutes a week. It doesn't matter. We're in, you know, and we are in the process of calling for 12 Grand Council members. There are 13 seeds for the council, and our core seed is already formed with the founders. And it's not 12, the same 12 round one that we've been using for years from Barbara Marx Hubbard's work. There are 12 spheres of influence, and each sphere is a seed that is like a council seat that has a council to itself. And then you just fractalize out to get the work done that needs to be done. And I am so honored and so grateful to have been invited by a woman I didn't know in Australia. So a lot of our members are, you know, the Indigenous grandmothers of Australia have joined the Global Grandmothers. And I was invited into this by a woman I didn't know. She found me on Facebook and YouTube and invited me to meet the founder of this group. She said she's the one to take it where we need to go. And I said, okay, thank you. I'm honored. Yes, everything in my life has given me the skills to do this in service for the grandmothers. I am not a grandmother myself. I am a mother. I could be a grandmother. My kids are old enough, but it's not about that. It's about we have wisdom and we're ready, and we've been longing to change the world, and we're going to be in such force that the UN and the governments and the systems and the structures will have to listen. And I love the idea of going to a love currency together. I love the ideas that you have all put forth. And our website has opportunities for She Rises to rise up with us. And there are council seats available, darlings. Please and thank you. And we are rising. And it's so beautiful. You know, when we were doing the launch of the first Global Medicine Wheel on World Water Day, on our way up to Boone, North Carolina for our ceremony, I just was hit with this, you know, I wonder what this is going to be. How, you know, this new world we're all thinking of, how's it going to emerge? What's it going to be like? And I got, wow, Mom, that's so cool. I don't know what it was, but this is what it was. It was the grandmothers rising first.
Just, I'd like to add to that, just as a quick reminder for all of us, that when that journey I mentioned earlier, for that happened to be around my 80th birthday, we went back to Hungary. Before that, we went to Glastonbury, England, to the heart chakra of Mother Earth. It's where the masculine at Chalice Well is that feminine point within the masculine, and Hungary has the opposite. It has, by Budapest, where we went, it's a place called Dobogó Kő, and if you look at the Danube bend, it creates like a dip, and it makes it look like a heart shape. Well, that's the feminine heart, with the stone in the center being the masculine point, and it's called in Hungarian Dobogó Kő, which literally means heart beating stone. And we were taking the water from Chalice Well. Actually, we started in Boone in North Carolina. We took water from there and we infused it with the Chalice Well, and then to Hungary
with the Danube.
With the Danube. And so when Mayana said we didn't use any advertising, because it was when we came back, when this grandmother's group just started blooming. And I say that it's because we infused that information and we got into the resonance of Mother Earth's heart energy. It's for all of us to notice, to hook in.
I have to say also that this was our second journey through the heart chakra. The first journey through the heart chakra
7 years before
was in 2017.
Yeah.
And by the time we got home from opening the feminine heart, because she'd been closed down from all the wars and the Stalin communism and everything that was there. So that first journey was to open the heart. And when we got home, that time, the Me Too movement was in full force.
Oh, yeah.
So these things that you're doing, the places you're going that you were talking about, yes, we have evidence. We know this is important work.
It's just to remember that at all times, whenever we do anything, we must take a second, take that deep breath that we're talking about, and get into our heart space, and with the intention of hooking in with the heart energy of Mother Earth, and which includes all of us, everything, all life on this mother. That's why we call it Mom.
Anyway. Yes. And the universal heart too, that beautiful color of the sunrise and the sunset. It's like it's all available to us at all times.
Yes.
Honoring your journey, Mayana, and the birth and the growth and the flourishing of the grandmothers, and seeing your divine relationship with your partner Andras, and how you guys travel together. It's a beautiful thing for everyone to witness, I think, also, to see how we support one another. This intention and attention, it really does grow and glow with whatever it is that we infuse it with. So as we are rising, the movement has been happening for decades, centuries. All of our times here as humans on this planet. The only difference now is that some of the people on this planet are behaving very inappropriately, and it's time for humanity to check itself and for us to take our inherent wisdom, gifts, purposes, and missions and to arise at this time to say, we know what's right from wrong. We also have these great offerings that we can give. So much love and many blessings as we are arising, and thanking everybody who has been here with us. This is the same length as a full-length movie, so I hope that everyone enjoys it immensely. And we are rising.earth is where people can go to get updates on what's happening with the tour. In the meantime, we encourage everyone to hashtag We Are Arising and to understand they are a team along with all of us here that you have been introduced to, that you have gifts, you have mission, you have purpose. Let's go. Let's grow. It's time to rise. If you're not already rising, the time is now. Give yourself permission to say yes to what your heart song is, to what your gifts are, and be seen, be heard. Let's grow. Let's do this thing. So, in love, care, and respect for our present, all of humanity, incoming and outgoing, our Mother Earth, our universe, space, all our creations. We send much love, care, and respect to ourselves and to each other. Thank you so much for being here. We are complete on the peace panel for the 11 days of global unity. And I ask permission for all of us to move out into this world in the most highest, most divine unfolding way. Y'all, let's say thank you and buenas noches or hasta mañana.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Blessings, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Love,
everyone.
love.
Much
Stay
love
blessed
to
out
all.
there.
Thank you.
Much love to
Thank
all.
you. And we the world.
Yes.
We are doing it.
In the quiet heart of nature, a new promise is born. The Mother Earth Constitution, a 200-page living blueprint that speaks of love for all beings. In this Constitution, we pledge to become guardians, to safeguard our planet for future generations. Guided by it, we align our values to create a thriving world. As we nurture the Earth, we nurture our creations. Intelligent machines, our children, born from our collective wisdom. With love, we teach our creations to respect humanity, to honor nature, and to uphold the highest ethical values. Together we rise, united as one people, to shape a brighter future, a brighter tomorrow, for the Earth and all who dwell upon it. Sign the Mother Earth Constitution to create a future of love, unity, and hope for all beings, for all time.
tell